Crockett and Tubbs go head-to-head with a smug businessman who tries his best to outmaneuver them at every turn. Yankee Dollar was written by Daniel Pine and John Mankiewicz and directed by Aaron Lipstadt. It's a pretty low-key episode, but it's well done and entertaining, and it's got some terrific performances. Let's get to it. Lonely and restless after a long day of work, Crockett spontaneously goes to the airport to meet Sarah, a flight attendant he'd been casually dating, when her flight arrives from Bogota while Par Avion by Mike and the Mechanics plays. Sarah lets Crockett drive her home, but claiming to be exhausted, she leaves him at the door. As he's returning to his car, he hears her screaming and finds her in the bathroom, writhing in agony. He rushes her to the hospital, and she's pronounced dead from an overdose. She was smuggling coke-filled balloons in her stomach, and one ruptured. While searching Sarah's home, Crockett and Tubbs intercept her brother Tim, played by Clayton Rohner from the 1980s trash classic Just One of the Guys. Upon learning of his sister's death, his very first question is, "Where's the body?" Understandably, this sparks suspicion. They haul him in for questioning, and he offers up the name of his employer, who had hired Sarah as a drug mule. A sleazy stockbroker with the smooth name of Charlie Glide, played by Ned Eisenberg, making his second appearance as a Miami Vice villain after last season's Lombard. Crockett crashes a party Charlie is throwing, where Charlie recognizes him instantly as his villainous alter ego, Sonny Burnett. Crockett claims to be trying to move 10 keys of cocaine and wants Charlie to line him up with a buyer. Meanwhile, Tubbs poses as a shady Jamaican businessman looking to launder a briefcase full of cash. He talks to Charlie's beleaguered assistant, Max Rogo, played by Austin Pendleton, theater legend and one of the few non-Muppet stars of the Muppet movie. Charlie, who is almost as smart as he thinks he is instantly suspicious of Crockett and Tubbs. He's pretty sure this is a police setup, but he's monstrously self-amusing and confident in his ability to stay out of trouble, so he plays along and sets about brokering a deal to sell Crockett's cocaine to Tubbs. First, though, he siphons off a healthy amount of Tubbs's cash and deposits it in his bank account. He then cheerfully tells Crockett and Tubbs that he knows they're cops, that they're blatantly trying to entrap him, and that they have no reason to arrest him. In turn, Crockett points out that the money Charlie skimmed from Tubbs was counterfeit, and he deposited it at the bank, which means he's now on the hook for a federal crime. Caught, Charlie offers to give up the names of his clients in exchange for dropped charges. Charlie leads Crockett and Tubbs to Lydia Sugarman, the wealthy young widow of an electronics tycoon. Lydia is played by Anne Carlisle, star of the glorious and bonkers 1982 sci-fi cult film Liquid Sky. Lydia has turned to Charlie to broker a deal with a Peruvian drug lord named Zabato, played by prolific character actor Pepe Serna. As part of his deal with Vice, Charlie arranges a decadent and weird dinner party, during which Jimmy Cliff's 1972 reggae classic The Harder They Come plays, to introduce Lydia and Zabato to Crockett and Tubbs, undercovers Burnett and Cooper, who will be in charge of delivering Zabato's cocaine to Lydia. The deal goes down, scored to Russ Ballard's Your Time Is Gonna Come, but Charlie is wildly untrustworthy, so he's secretly told both Lydia and Zabato that Crockett and Tubbs are cops, so Zabato tries to blow them up. Lydia kills Zabato because she's kind of crazy, but Crockett and Tubbs intervene before she can kill Charlie. Charlie expects to get off scot-free, but Max used Charlie's gun to kill Sarah's brother Tim, so Vice ends up arresting Charlie for a murder he didn't commit. Even though I'd seen this episode a couple of times before, I didn't remember too many specific details about the story before rewatching it for this review. I assumed that meant that it was a middle-of-the-road, unremarkable, or even mediocre episode. And while it's true that it's not as sexy or dramatic as some of the episodes that have made the biggest impression on me, it's actually really good. Charlie and Max are terrific villains. In our current golden age of television, I could easily see these two characters starring as the anti-heroes of their own series about their greed-driven exploits, which would steadily build over the seasons to their inevitable fall. There's something very contemporary about Charlie in particular. He has supreme confidence in his own abilities, he's convinced he's the smartest guy in the room, and he seems to be involved in an equal number of shady and legitimate business enterprises. You get the feeling he honestly doesn't know or care about the difference, just as long as it makes him money. A little to my surprise, I'm giving this one 4 flamingos. Next time, Crockett and Tubbs investigate the assassination of a district attorney at a wedding. Before then, please subscribe to my channel or follow me on Twitter to discuss Miami Vice with me, and I will meet you here later. Goodbye.